So I feel undervalued anyway. But there's no protection, throughout the season. So I feel like I'm not getting protected. I'm not being valued, not getting paid, getting beat up all the time. Why put my body through that when I can go overseas and make 7 figures and maybe play longer from taking off the summer and actually being able to rest my body?
It really don't make a difference if you say he or she to me. Like when I'm out in public, like my teammates sometimes will get mad if somebody call me a he, but I'm just like, I don't care. Like, we go sit down and get some food and they're like, sir, what do you want? I'm like, yeah, let me get the steak.
Atlanta Dream just pulled off a jaw-dropping move by allegedly benching Brittney Griner indefinitely. And the reason isn't about bad stats or injuries at all. Nope, this drama runs way deeper than anyone expected. Rumor has it she's tangled up in a wild DNA scandal the team's been trying to sweep under the rug for weeks. And now the story's blowing up because players are finally breaking their silence, and what they're revealing could shake the entire league to its core. If these accusations are true, this wasn't just a last-minute call. It was a secret plan set in motion the second Brittney's test results hit that private lab. Even crazier, the leak came straight from someone inside the WNBA. Yup, an insider spilled every detail, making this drama even messier. Nothing screams chaos louder than someone from the inside flipping on their own people. The wildest part? It all started with that tense moment Brittney realized she was being benched. Witnesses say she showed up to pre-game warm-ups fully geared up, ready to dominate. There was no limp, no sign of injury, nothing that suggested she wouldn't play. Then, out of nowhere, boom, she gets pulled right before the game, leaving everyone in total shock. Brittney didn't look hurt at all. She was moving like nothing was wrong. But just 10 minutes before tip-off, the head coach suddenly pulled her aside. Nobody knows exactly what was said, but witnesses swear they saw Brittney's face go from confused to absolutely furious. Cameras even caught the final seconds of the convo, and you can literally see her expression change before she storms off the court. Right after that, chaos erupted.
Brittney Griner is clearly a man. Why is she able to play in the WNBA? Behind this lies 3 terrifying truths. Brittney Griner has been married twice. Although she has publicly acknowledged that she is a lesbian, she refused to undergo the Olympic medical examination. This is because she was born with a Y chromosome and has multiple characteristics, including male characteristics. However, her parents preferred girls. Griner was assigned female at birth, and her legal gender identity is female. This is why she can play in the WNBA. This is the key factor in her eligibility. Additionally, BG undergoes hormone therapy to adjust her physical characteristics to align more closely with her male identity. As a result, she possesses a masculine physique, which is extremely rare in women's basketball. Especially at 6 feet 9 inches tall, she holds a significant advantage over physically weaker female players. Since Brittney Griner joined the Atlanta Dream Team, the team's ticket sales have skyrocketed, attracting a large number of LGBTQ fans. Her transgender male identity has brought broader attention to the league, but it has also subjected her to more hostility and criticism. For example, in a recent game, she was accused of intentionally striking Caitlin Clark's throat with her elbow, and subsequently made some inappropriate remarks on the bench, sparking intense discussions among fans.
The Dream's PR team scrambled to release some vague statement about a non-health related personal issue, claiming that was why Brittney wouldn't be at upcoming practices or games. But honestly, that wasn't even the wildest part. Within an hour, 2 of Brittney's own teammates, both bench players, posted the exact same cryptic IG story, still protecting this LOL bet. And just like that PR statement, both posts mysteriously disappeared before they could blow up online. The quick deletion sent fans into a frenzy. Everyone was convinced something way bigger was being covered up. And here's where things get truly messy. Remember that rumor floating around back in April, the one about Brittney allegedly failing a private DNA test ordered by her ex? At first, people laughed it off as random internet drama. But here's the twist. Those lab results reportedly got leaked straight to a high-ranking WNBA exec. And the kicker? It wasn't just some basic paternity dispute. Sources claim the results showed a full-on genetic mismatch, something far more shocking than anyone was ready for. Insiders say the league went into full-blown panic mode the second this bombshell detail came out. Up until that moment, the team seemed totally fine with sweeping everything under the rug. But once there was an actual paper trail, it hit them. Anyone could get their hands on this explosive info, and that terrified the people in charge. Then everything flipped. One of the league's own medical advisors allegedly slipped the findings to the Dream's front office off the record. But somebody in that office clearly couldn't keep quiet because those lab results quickly got forwarded to 2 players. And these weren't just any teammates. These were 2 players who had been quietly side-eyeing Brittney for months. It wasn't some petty beef. They just felt like the team was hiding something shady. The second they saw those documents, their suspicions were confirmed. Right after that, Brittney got benched out of nowhere. And guess what? Those same 2 players were the ones who dropped those cryptic IG stories before deleting them like nothing happened. Fans couldn't stop asking the obvious question. Was Brittney benched just to keep the scandal from exploding in public? But here's the detail most people don't know. The Dream's locker room has been split for a while now. Ever since Brittney came on board, insiders say tension's been brewing, especially with younger players who felt like they were being forced to bow down to her status. One player even told her agent, "I'm not sitting next to someone who lied about who they are, and I don't care who's protecting her." That one line says it all. It shows just how deep the mistrust has gotten and why this mess is spiraling completely out of control. Another player, who just so happens to now be on leave, reportedly marched straight to management, demanding a full disclosure about Brittney's records.
The league is, how serious are you when you say that because of your frustration?
I'm very serious when I say that, and it does suck because I do love playing here in the States. I mean, who doesn't want to play here in your home, in front of my fans, in front of my family? It really bothers me, but I'm at a point where it's like, okay, we're already underpaid.
Have you noticed some of Brittney Griner's strange behavior behind WNBA Commissioner Catherine Engelbert? This may be the real reason why she is still in the league.
As expected, management shut it down immediately. And this was before those leaked documents even started floating around behind the scenes. Now that the confirmed results are quietly being passed around, the team's silence is louder than any official statement could ever be. But here's the kicker, it's no longer just a team issue. Insiders claim the WNBA League office actually told the Dream to bench Brittney indefinitely while they figure out the next steps. Publicly, of course, they're acting clueless. An official statement about the situation supposedly went up and then got deleted within minutes. That quick cleanup only made fans even more convinced something shady is happening. From what sources are saying, both the team and league bosses are dead set on burying this story for as long as possible. Meanwhile, insiders are scrambling to figure out who leaked that report because it was never meant to leave the lab. The fact that it got out at all proves that someone with serious access wanted this bombshell to blow up for everyone to see. Looking back now, the red flags were right there the whole time. Remember when Brittney randomly skipped that huge press tour earlier this year and they brushed it off as fatigue? Turns out that just so happened to be around the same time those DNA results reportedly came in. And what about when she suddenly got dropped from that massive Nike campaign in May? No explanation, no announcement. They just erased her name and image like she'd never been part of it. And who could forget that awkward moment on live TV when a teammate flat out dodged Brittney's high five? Yeah, that didn't seem random at all. It's starting to feel like players have been clocking the behind-the-scenes chaos for months, the politics, the cover-ups, and some finally had enough.
Y'all gotta see this. So Brittney Griner has just been banned from the WNBA after this situation with Caitlin Clark is going viral, where she made some extremely racist remarks.
Everyone deserves the right to play. Everyone deserves the right to come here, sit in these seats, and feel safe and not feel like there's a threat or they can't be who they are. Definitely will be speaking up against that legislation and those laws that are trying to be passed, for sure.
A scandal this massive should have had official statements flooding in, but instead, total silence. What makes it even wilder is that not a single one of Brittney's teammates has publicly stood up for her, even though this entire mess could completely wreck her career. So now everyone's asking the same thing. What is the league really trying to hide? Legally, the WNBA can't force a player to reveal personal medical info unless it directly affects gameplay. But if a player's gender identity or genetic data ends up clashing with league eligibility rules, that's a whole other story. And here's the jaw-dropper. Despite the league allegedly shielding Brittney these past few months, some execs were quietly hoping those records would leak so they'd finally have a legit reason to push her out. This scandal isn't just about league policy anymore, it's personal, and it's tearing the team apart. Sources close to the Dream say the locker room is completely divided. On one side are players who believe Brittney's privacy should have been protected no matter what. On the other side, teammates who feel like they were lied to, forced to share a locker room with someone they think wasn't being fully honest about who they are. That split is ripping the team in half and making the whole situation spiral even faster. One player reportedly said, "We've been told to stand for equality, but when we asked for honesty, they told us to shut up."
Did you notice Brittney Griner's flat chest? That's why Caitlin Clark refuses to pay attention to her. Brittney's chest is flat with no noticeable curves, and she never wears a sports bra on the court. She often wears outfits with cuts to her chest in public, highlighting this feature even more. This has led to increasing discussions about her gender. Even though Brittney has openly stated that she's a woman, it hasn't stopped the online speculation. Some even ask Caitlin about it in interviews. Caitlin finds this annoying. She believes that as a professional athlete, the WNBA should be a platform for showcasing basketball skills, not for creating media buzz. So she unfollowed Brittney on social media to avoid letting her affect her focus. Not only is Brittney 6'9" tall, but she also wears size 17 sneakers. When Brittney stands, her legs often form a 45-degree angle, making her appear especially tall on the court. Brittney's behavior, which leans toward more masculine traits, makes Caitlin feel uncomfortable. But what Caitlin hates the most is that Brittney is always making foul plays. Especially in some games, she often gains an advantage by shoving and similar moves, with the referees turning a blind eye. Caitlin doesn't want to care about Brittney's news. She just wants to...
Then a leaked screenshot from a team group chat surfaced. Multiple Dream players were openly questioning whether management had known the truth the whole time. And when you remember how much money the league threw at that big No Space for Hate campaign, the hypocrisy stings even more, especially now that nobody in power is taking responsibility. Meanwhile, Brittney hasn't said a single word. No social media posts, no press statements, nothing through her reps. And that's shocking because Brittney is not the type to stay silent like this. People close to her say she's completely heartbroken, not just over being benched, but because she never imagined things would spin so far out of control. One insider even claimed she tried to handle it quietly, allegedly offering to sit out a few games on her own while the league figured out what to say publicly. But clearly, that wasn't enough to stop what came next.
Versus playing year-round,
So
literally year-round.
why do you do it?
Because I love the game and I love Phoenix. Like, honestly, I love it here in Phoenix. From Jim, our GM, to Sandy, to Vince, to Bryce, I'm talking to everybody. Our wonderful training staff. I literally love it here, and they've done so much to help me with things that I want to do when my shoe dry.
The team benched Brittney without warning, completely blindsiding her while the internet exploded with speculation. And now that fans know the full story, it feels like only a matter of time before they start demanding real answers, and the league won't be able to hide behind silence forever. This scandal isn't just wrecking the Dream. Other teams are now quietly digging through their own internal records just in case. And the sponsors, they're freaking out too. Nike, Gatorade, and AT&T have reportedly put upcoming campaigns with Brittney on ice, even ones that were already filmed. Major media outlets have also paused pre-written WNBA features until the league finally says something. This drama isn't fading anytime soon. The longer the silence drags on, the uglier it gets. And here's the real bombshell. Sources say the leak didn't even come from the lab. It came from inside the WNBA itself, and not from some random staffer either. Multiple insiders claim the whistleblower is actually a former player who now works as a league official. Allegedly, she believed the truth was being buried for politics, and she's done staying quiet. Insiders say she's gearing up to go public, and when she does, heads are going to roll. She's reportedly ready to spill exactly how long the league knew.
Have you ever dated a man?
Nah, never.
When did you know
I mean, I had a crush on my kindergarten teacher, Ms. Wagner. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
What? Where Brittney Griner and her partner, they just had a baby. Congrats to them. And the interviewer was like, congrats to Brittney Griner, like, you know, you're a new mother. And Brittney Griner stops and was like, no, Pops, I'm a father.
You're about to be a mom. How is that feeling? Pops. Oh, let me get it together.
And the interviewer was like, oh, sorry. And in my head, I'm just like, Brittney Griner, you're not a father. You're not a father. Like, I don't mean to be Maury, but it's like, it's okay. Like, if you want to word that shit something else, and want to create a cool new word, like on some like slang shit, on some E40 shit,
right,
figure that out. Like,
right,
call it nigga that do hip hop and crunch like mother pops together and call it mops or something. Y'all want to have a child and raise it how you want to raise it, bro? Do it. Go ahead. It's plenty of bad parents. That's men and women.
Right.
That's the guy that's not great. Good luck. She did that saying I'm a pops wasn't offensive to men that didn't make an uproar about it. But if a father...
Who was involved and why they decided to cover it up instead of telling the truth from the start? Public opinion is already split, and it's getting nastier by the hour. Some fans are backing Brittney, saying she deserves her privacy and that none of this should matter if she can still dominate on the court. But plenty of others? They're furious. They believe the league completely played everyone, using buzzwords like identity and inclusion when it looked good for PR, while secretly hiding the truth to protect their marketable stars. The backlash is blowing up fast, and once that whistleblower finally speaks out, the league's carefully polished image could collapse overnight. The online comments are getting vicious. Screenshots from Reddit threads and Twitter spaces show fans calling for full eligibility audits across every WNBA team. Some are even labeling this the biggest cover-up in league history, and honestly, they might be right. Here's the part people don't say out loud. Brittney Griner was never just another player. She was a symbol, a headline grabber, the face the league pushed front and center. But if these leaks turn out to be true, it shows that this so-called symbol was built on shaky ground, and nobody at the top ever bothered to double-check the truth.
WNBA's Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man. You could possibly speculate, okay, is Brittney trans then? What's the situation here? But there aren't any top surgery scars. I don't give a fuck about women's...
That doesn't make Brittney the villain, but it does make the silence around her situation feel impossible to ignore. At this point, the real question isn't just what did Brittney do? It's who already knew, and why did they all stay quiet? Now Brittney's stuck on the bench, the dream is falling apart from the inside, and one leak test could be the spark that blows the entire WNBA wide open. If this really was a full-on cover-up, the fallout is only just getting started, and it's about to get way uglier before it gets better. So what do you think? Are we watching the biggest WNBA cover-up in history, or just a scandal that spun completely out of control? Let us know what you think down in the comments. Smash that like button, share this with your friends, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the twists still to come. Because trust me, what's next is going to be even crazier. See you in the next one.